Good morning, Brian Johnston talking about the development of the dashboard and the Excel spreadsheet which this dashboard was developed from, and some of the principles of using the dashboard to your advantage. Basically, I have to go back and talk about the basic three, which is the Euro, US dollar, the Great British Pound, US dollar, and the anchor, the Euro, Great British Pound. This is one of the most important of all aspects of this sheet, just here. The second most important point is I'm not quite clear whether we've really established it yet, but we'll work our way through it, and I'll talk to Paul. That once this trend comes into a 0 point here, a trend change is likely to occur on the whole 14 currencies, but in particular the major 8 currencies. So I'll repeat, once a 0 is attached here, it establishes the relationships with the US dollar and the Great British Pound. As you know, on 101's Excel spreadsheet, he originally set two sides, the Great British Pound side and the Euro and the JPY side. We really probably be better here to have the JPY side, but perhaps here, 3 could have the US JPY here as a more controlling of the JPY, so we'd have the Great British Pound lot. When it went 0, we could rely on that, and when it went to the JPY group, we would have the 3 JPYs tied in here by the Euro. This doesn't quite tie them in the same way, but it would be nice to have the US dollar JPY here and this 3, and when that went 0, you would have to look at your JPYs. But for the purpose of this, we say that if that went 0 and then it went, and we look at the current trend, and it's down on our and we'll look at it on our hedge, and it's down, as you can see. So you don't need to see anything else. You can see that the current trend is down. This goes 0 and it goes +1, maybe 0, -1, then it tends to go to, it goes to about +3 or 2, but you keep your eye on the hedge, and the hedge, if this indicator goes white, goes up, you've got a confirmation and you've been warned, the same on the basket, you've been warned here. In particular, you are being warned on the US dollar group. So if we could do this one here as a JPY, you'd have a warning on your JPY. However, you can look here and just look in the JPYs and find the US JPY as well, but it would be easier if that one there was the US dollar JPY. You'd have a warning on your Euro group and your JPY group. So I'll just show it to you in there it was up here, your shorts. You see you got shorts and longs, you got a confirmation here, and I think we'd need a confirmation down in here, and maybe Paul and the boys could look at the Euro, the US dollar JPY here, and we'd have a US dollar group and a JPY. These would be like saying like our anchor, which is the core. Now the core anchors are when all of those go into profit. There is a very strong, very strong long-term trend change overall. But these are giving you, so you can pick up the sales on that. Now, it doesn't have to be these. Say you want to trade one currency and you got a warning that this is zero, and you look straight away over on your basket, and if they're a white line, and this is how I trade, I say, okay, it looks like the whole basket's going over. What is the Australian dollar doing now? Right now. So if it happened to be a warning here, and we're at this Bosun's line, or in this case I think this is the Bosun's monthly, there's a line. If it's there now, and you've got limit orders on, maybe you should look at quickly. The limit order might be saying to go here, but you might want to take advantage of the now trend which is being indicated on your dashboard. That is on a US dollar group. You might look at another one on your group, and we'll look at there. It's still short, which is expected. If it hits this point here and the thing starts to go long, you might want to take a long. Look where your Bosun's line is away from here. It's likely that, and you've noticed it's a positive interest, and we'll go back to the interest board, and you're looking at your current. Yes, if it's long, it's positive. It's a nice strong long one for us to do. Okay, the other thing I'd like to talk about in the spreadsheet is some signals and some current things. We see the Australian dollar is -1 on the 5/9. And we look at the Australian dollar, so that's telling us it's under the 5. It's under the 5. But that one's a 5 and 9. Why is it 5 and 9? 5 and 9 was, it's gone 0 now. The 5 and 9, it's starting to look soon, but there's a 0 again for you to look at on the 5 and 9. This is a now price, and it's not really on here, but look there. So why I talk about the 5 and 9. 5 and 9 was a point that was very similar in Gann's astrological planetary alignments. That the 5 and 9 cross I found to be very similar to some of the Gann's astrological points. It just seemed uncanny how many times they reached that point. So the 5 and 9 cross could be a nice little additional into an area where we can fit it in here as a now additional. A now additional. What happens? You get a ring, bang, on your US dollar. You can look straight here now. How many pips away from the 5/9 is it? Or you might see the 5/9 coming up here, and you got another little quick indication to look at that particular currency. See what I'm saying? The 5 and 9 was just over. It hasn't been a very strong one yet, but I just want to bring that back to you, that it's a little possibility to look at that, so that if we get the 5/9 and this starts to go up a little higher, and it's gone -1, pretty naught, -1, but it'll indicate now where you are away from the 5 and 9. Okay, that is the reason I suggested you have a look at it. We're trying to incorporate some of the figures from the spreadsheet and the demo. What I have noticed is the pips away, and of course its Greenwich Mean Time is 48. I have not quite married this up together with this. 64. Wait a minute. Let's have a look. How far away is that from that? It might be quite good. 47 can be looking pretty good here at the 66. And the week. Okay. So there we are. We looked at the spreadsheet, some of the points of reiterating the 3, 0, putting the JPY in here and getting a 0 on here would strengthen this area up between the Australian dollar and the JPY groups. You could do similar in some of the others and use the CHF. You've got it here. And what about the Great British Pound CHF? That would tie in your 3 CHF groups rather than stick to there, so you would have getting warnings on either the US dollars, the CHF or the JPYs. Wouldn't be bad, would it? Okay, that's my suggestion. That's the way I would use this the sheet, that when this fires or that fires, you've got some indications there. You immediately have a look at your offline hedge baskets for your trend. Then you narrow it down into your currency basket and have a look now on that. It's still in the short side, so I wouldn't start going long on the Australian dollar. And as it gives you a positive interest here, it's always best to do a long trade. Okay, bye for now from Brian. God bless. I hope this gives you some ideas. Great work from the boys. Great work, Paul, Mike, and Forex for Fun. Once again, superb job. Bye for now from Brian.